I want to talk about how being overly critical of yourself can ruin your life, and my personal tips on what you can do to liberate yourself from the invisible chain of perfectionism. Before I dive in, let's talk about the signs of whether or not you are a perfectionist, what research says about it, and an example of what excessive perfectionism can do to your daily life. Some of the signs that you might be a perfectionist include
harsh and sometimes even punitive judgments on yourself and others, overthinking about pretty much everything under the sun, being detail-oriented to the extreme, overanalyzing your shortcomings, having unreasonably high or sometimes even unattainable standards, obsessing over minor missteps that you've made, having an unusual desire to address everybody's needs, and feeling tired all the time.
Many people believe that self-criticism and aiming for perfection are traits that push you to excellence. While it can be a form of motivation and the right amount of perfectionism can make people extremely successful, Harvard Business Review states that it is actually a poor strategy when it gets excessive, because constantly being overcritical of yourself is consistently associated with greater procrastination, less self-control, and less motivation. It can actually prevent you from taking actions to achieve your goals. Imagine this: you just won a new client and you want to buy everyone a coffee and some dessert to celebrate this in the office.
Should I treat just my team or related teams and other departments or the entire office? What if some people don't like coffee or desserts? Should I treat them now or in the afternoon? Is it better to have an Excel sheet to tabulate who wants what?
And this is all because you're making it so complicated by wanting everything to be perfect. Are you ready for my personal tips to help you break free? Let's dive in. 1. Will it matter down the road? Every time you become overly critical of yourself, ask yourself this: is this going to matter in 5 years? This will put the issue in context. Let's take the same example of treating your colleagues to a coffee to celebrate your new client win. So what if you only treat your team and not the entire floor? And what if some people don't drink coffee or the order is messed up? Will all these things matter in 5 years' time? Probably not. So don't sweat it and don't spend over a few minutes on it. Another example: you screwed up on your presentation at that important work meeting. Instead of getting frustrated and overthinking about what you could have said afterwards, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Likely not. So laugh it off, learn from it, and move on. 2. Can you still change the outcome? You probably could have said something more considerate to your friend last week, or thought of a better response when your investor asked you about your business proposal last month. Ask yourself, can you still change the outcome? If not, let it go. If there's nothing you can do to change the outcome anymore, don't you have something better to do? Learn a new sport. Walk your dog, have fun with your friends, go live your life. Check out my video here on how to get out of your comfort zone to keep you busy, and use that extra time and channel that energy to do something that will add value to your life. 3. How will insert name handle this? Instead of criticizing yourself for not working hard enough or being good enough, ask yourself what other people would do. Not just anybody. Pick people that you admire and have the right balanced mindset to life. Fictional characters do not work.
How will Harry Potter handle this?
So if you're a religious person, ask yourself, how will God handle this? Or how will Buddha handle this? If you're an atheist but have someone whom you respect, perhaps it's your grandmother. For example, if you're sick but you don't want to call in sick because for you it's a sign of a lack of commitment, what would grandmother say? She'd probably say, just stay home and rest. You won't be productive at work when you're sick. And your client and colleagues probably don't want you coughing on them and sharing your germs. No one is going to think less of you because you missed a few days of work. Then why should you? The trick is to look at the issue through a different lens of another person that you respect. When your perspective changes and goes beyond finding faults with yourself, your mindset will shift and everything will change. 4. Come back to earth, please. I know this might come as a surprise to some of you because you're probably not aware of it, but you're not superhuman, nor a digitally enhanced human being yet. Last time I checked, it's still not a reality as of the production date of this video, so accept that you're only a human being. We make mistakes. Constantly trying to reach an unattainable standard is not only tiring for yourself, but also exhausting for people around you, especially those working for you. So after this video, I want you to stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and say this to yourself. You are a beautiful human being, and it is okay to make mistakes and not be perfect. Being perfect is boring. Instead of trying to be a perfect individual demanding perfection from yourself and everyone around you, build a perfect team with imperfect individuals. Repeat as many times as necessary. Print it out, look at it every morning and every night, and let it sink in. Number 5. Name that inner critic. Create a psychological distance from your self-criticism by naming your inner critic. This helps you separate yourself from your thoughts and promotes the capacity to manage your emotions, be more aware, and steady your mind. Name it after a person or character from a book or movie. Maybe it's Loki. So next time, when you're being too harsh on yourself again, tell Loki to keep his critical voice in check. The point is, don't allow that suffocating energy to grow inside you. Keep it in check. 6. Say hello to the bright side. Instead of beating yourself up over every mistake, shift your perspective and learn to see the silver lining. For example, if your colleague got that promotion instead of you, yes, it sucks. But instead of being harsh on yourself and thinking that you're not good enough, try to flip it around. Maybe you didn't get the promotion because you deserve more. Or maybe you dodged a bullet because who knows what the new role brings, right? Looking on the bright side is one of the most important skills that we all need to learn. So next time, if you miss the flight for your business trip, don't beat yourself up. Find that silver lining. Who knows? You might meet your future spouse who will be seated right next to you on that plane. 7. Kill the comparison trap. The fact that you don't see many people sharing their frustrations and pains doesn't mean that their lives are perfect. Focus on working on your own progress and appreciating your own personal growth. Celebrate your small wins and personal achievements. And remember that we are all on our unique paths to achieve our own version of happiness in our lives. So if one of your friends started his own business and it's been flourishing, great! Congratulate him, be happy for him, and maybe even learn from him. If your friend finally found love and got engaged, isn't that just wonderful news, and shouldn't you feel happy for her? Energy goes where your attention is. So redirect that attention to focus on your happiness and your personal growth. Be so busy that you won't have any time to compare yourself with others. These are my secrets to help you kick that self-critical inner monster to the curb and embrace a life of self-acceptance and self-compassion. I am not asking you to ditch your standards and aim for mediocre. Just don't overdo it and try some of the tips that I just shared with you. See which ones work best for you and put that under your belt. Remember, it needs to rain a little for us to enjoy the sunny days. So don't be too harsh on yourself, relax, and enjoy the ride. I will see you in my next video. Bye!